Hello friends, in this lecture we are dealing with pentose phosphate pathway. I am Dr. Vishal Rajkumar Marathi, Assistant Professor in Botany, NES Science College, Nanded, Maharashtra. So firstly we are dealing with pentose phosphate pathway. This pathway is also commonly called as hexose monophosphate HMP shunt. It is also known as phosphogluconate pathway. When we are defining the pentose phosphate pathway, the hexose monophosphate shunt or pentose phosphate pathway is an alternative pathway for the metabolism of glucose. It does not generate ATP but produces NADPH and pentose 5-phosphates and other sugar phosphates. So friends, it is an alternative pathway to the glycolysis and TCA cycle or Krebs cycle for the oxidation of glucose. More anabolic in nature as it is concerned with the biosynthesis of NADPH and pentoses. Actually, this pathway is just like that of the glycolysis and which is occur also in the cytosol of the cell. Oxidation is achieved by the dehydrogenation using NADP plus and not through the NAD plus. So this is the one of the important aspect of this pentose phosphate pathway. It carried out in two stages. First, irreversible oxidative phase, and second, reversible non-oxidative phase. So it is mainly dealing with the oxidative phase and non-oxidative phase. So oxidative phase is always and always irreversible, but the non-oxidative phase is always reversible in nature. So when we are dealing with irreversible oxidative phase, which is having 3 molecules of glucose 6-phosphate gives rise to 3 molecules of CO2 and 3 molecules of 5 carbon sugars. So it is one of the important parameter of irreversible oxidative phase. But in reversible non-oxidative phase, where the rearrangement to give generate 2 molecules of glucose 6-phosphate and 1 molecule of the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So here in this reaction or in this slide, if you see here, this pentose phosphate pathway is started with glucose 6-phosphate which gives rise to 6-phosphogluconate and again it get converted into 6-phosphogluconate which is again converted into the ribulose 5-phosphate. So these stages they are belonging to the oxidative stage. Then ribulose 5-phosphate is get converted into various phosphate molecules like xylulose 5-phosphate, ribose 5-phosphate. Again they get combined together through the transketolase to form pseudoheptolase 7-phosphate or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Again transaldolase in presence of transaldolase enzyme which gives rise to erythrose 4-phosphate and fructose 6-phosphate. Again erythrose 4-phosphate and xylulose 5-phosphate combines to form glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and fructose 6-phosphate in presence of trans ketolase. So if you see here in non-oxidative stage, there is a formation of various phosphate groups. Either they are of 3 carbon compound, they are of 4 carbon compound, 5 carbon compound, 6 carbon compound or 7 carbon compounds. So non-oxidative phase is mainly dealing with the formation of such phosphate groups. Now we are switched out to the significances of pentose phosphate pathway. Actually HMP is one of the cytoplasmic pathway that generates NADPH. NADPH is produced in this pathway, act as a reducing agent during biosynthesis of various molecules, for example fatty acids. This pathway generates 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, 6 carbon and 7 carbon compounds which are precursor for biosynthesis of other molecules. For example, nucleotides are synthesized from ribose 5-phosphate. Pentose phosphate pathway is very essential for cell lacking mitochondria, for example RBCs, for generation of NADPH. Then another important parameter is that triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose and heptose sugars are generated as an intermediate product in the pentose phosphate pathway. NADPH is also used to detoxify hydrogen peroxide H2O2 in the cells. Again, another important parameter is that resistance to malaria in some Africans are associated with deficiency of glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme, because malarial parasite depends upon HMP shunt to reduce glutathione in RBCs. Then production of ribose 5 phosphate used in the synthesis of nucleotide and nucleic acids. Then production of erythrose 4 phosphate used in the synthesis of aromatic amino acids. These aromatic amino acids in turn are precursor for many biosynthetic pathways including lignin in the wood. Then dietary pentose sugars derived from digestion of nucleic acid may be metabolized through the pentose phosphate pathway, and the carbon skeleton of dietary carbohydrates may be converted into glycolipid or gluconeogenic intermediates. And another important parameter is that it is one of the three main ways the body creates molecules with reducing power, accounting for approximately 60% of NADPH production, particularly human beings. So friends, this is just about the significances of pentose phosphate pathway. Thank you.